Yume Nikki is a game that I'm sure needs no introduction. Revolutionary for its time, it inspired countless games and has been referenced in plenty of different media decades after its creation. It's weird, it's mysterious, and it lives rent-free in my head more than any game probably should, to be honest. And as we all know, when a game gets popular enough, it spawns numerous fan-made games that try to add or replicate what the original game had. Yume Nikki, to the surprise of no one, has dozens of fan games across the 20 years it's existed, and I want to talk about a few that stand out to me. These 3 fan games are the only few I've played thoroughly enough or seen thoroughly enough to form a strong-ish opinion on, and today I'll share those opinions with you! Yay! Before that, of course, I need to talk about the source material a bit. I don't want to linger on Yume Nikki too long, since I don't think I really have anything to add that people haven't already spoken about, but I think it'll give valuable context to my opinions later. I can't fully describe how much I adore Yume Nikki and the atmosphere that I feel when I play it. I've played the game for hours upon hours, and I still feel similarly to when I first played it myself. It's dreamlike. I mean, duh, it is Dream Diary after all, but it really does feel like stepping into a lucid experience. I love this game to death and fixate on it constantly, but even I don't remember half of the entrances to the other worlds. You could walk around for a good 30 minutes and stumble upon something like, what the hell is this? There's so much content despite how small it seems on the surface, and information about the creator, Kikiyama, basically being non-existent online really adds to the mysterious aura this game holds. It's like those creepypastas where someone finds a creepy game ROM that nobody knows about, and the original site they downloaded it from 404s as if it never existed at all. Ooh. It does a fantastic job at making you feel alone, even with how many wacky NPCs litter the worlds. And for me, since I play Yume Nikki Online Project, I see other Madotsukis wandering around all the time. Doesn't stop me from feeling isolated once I get into the deeper worlds. It's fascinating how the game pulls you in like that. It's unexplainable, it's weird, it's creepy, it's a fever dream, and I'm sure in 2004 it was an even better experience considering how small the internet was compared to now, and how little people actually knew about the game itself, but it still holds up even today. Yume Nikki would undoubtedly be my favorite game of all time if it wasn't for a certain other game that picks up my mind. Now, keeping all that in mind, the eerie atmosphere, the anonymous creator adding to the mystique, the lonely nature of it all wrapped up in a neat little mono bow, you'd be forgiven in assuming that it couldn't get better. How could anyone replicate the energy so well? Especially if you aren't completely anonymous online like Kikiyama is, how will it hold up? .flow is the answer. This game, while different in countless ways from the original game, to the point of even having multiple endings to find, still manages to keep the general loneliness that Yume Nikki is so well known for. Unlike the source material, this game leans far heavier into the blood and guts kind of horror. There's crime, there's gore, but at least to me, it doesn't come across as campy or edgy for the sake of it. It's ominous. Sure, Yume Nikki had its own fair share of blood and severed eyes and what have you, but this game is basically built around it. A lot of the NPCs are different too. Yeah, there's a good amount of weirdos just like in Yume Nikki, but there's also a fair share of people that seem human. Instead of the Toraningen bird people that act as chasers in the original game, there's the Kaibutsu taking the form of human students with rotted flesh and bloodied faces. There's Oriko, the kind diver girl that works on fucked up mechs in her little house. There's Smile, a strange boy who's heavily implied to be an ally of Sabitsuki, the main character. Oh yeah, that reminds me. This game has a story. Well, not quite a story, it's still heavily left up to interpretation, much like Yume Nikki was, but everything feels a lot more cohesive, perhaps due to the more human nature of it all. There are people everywhere, and plenty of different locations that more or less spell out who Sabitsuki is and what her life was or is like. The rooms in deterioration, the corrupted school event, childbirth, sugar float days, hole in girl, disposal, everything feels like pieces to a fucked up puzzle telling about Sabitsuki's life. It can get really dark really fast, especially with Hole and Girl and Sweet Sugar Love Hotel as a whole, but the fact it feels like it leads somewhere while still allowing tons of interpretation, much like the source material it's based on, it's fascinating, at least to me. Now, take this all with a grain of salt, since I am quite biased. .Flow was the game that actually started to get me into Yume Nikki as a whole. In fact, I watched a playthrough of .Flow as a kid before I went anywhere near Yume Nikki. However, I still think there is an amazing amount of work put into making this game feel so desolate, even with the creator Lolrust being a lot less anonymous in their online presence. It never fails to amaze me just how similar this game makes me feel to Yume Nikki, even with how different it truly is. .Flow is one of the more popular Yume Nikki fan games, but as for the most popular one, overall, I think it's safe to say that title belongs to Yume Nikki. Fun fact, did you know Yume Nikki isn't actually supposed to be pronounced Yume Nikki? It's based on ni, which is two in Japanese, so you would pronounce it the same in Japanese as Yume Nikki. It's just, you know, fun little pun. Regardless, built by countless fans of the original game, Yume Nikki is a ginormous love letter to what Yume Nikki is. It's full of different worlds, NPCs, events, and music built by different people across years and years of hard work and dedication. It really is something to marvel at. It began in 2007 as the very first fan game, and even now, it still gets updates. Because of this, however, it does feel really big. Scarily big. Multiple Nexus worth big. 18 years of adding new exciting content will definitely get you to that point, so it isn't surprising, but Jesus Christ is this game gigantic. You could go down one rabbit hole for miles and still have at least 50 different paths you missed along the way, all with 50 of their own different paths. This is exciting in its own right, but for me at least, it loses the mysterious charm that .Flow and Yume Nikki had. I think part of this is because you know it was made by actual people to try and mimic the strange places that Yume Nikki held. With Yume Nikki and .Flow, you had no idea what the creator was thinking putting all the pieces together. It's like, how the hell did you come up with this? But with Tuki, it doesn't feel the same in my eyes. It's not a bad thing, of course, and when you get deeper in, it does feel like a fun discovery that only a few people have seen, but it is something to note. Regardless, even just looking at these worlds is fascinating, despite how it loses the isolation feeling, in my opinion. It's fun to just go through and see what you find on your own, not to mention the gorgeous soundtrack and visuals most of the worlds hold inside, all of which were made by their own separate people. I haven't looked into many theories about this game, but it is entertaining to look at all the different worlds and try to come up with how they fit together in Orotsuki's mindscape. Truthfully, I haven't played enough Tuki to really hold my ground on this. Most of my experience comes from watching a friend play. Hi, Tessa! Feel free to yell at me if you disagree on anything. I won't cry much, maybe, probably. A game I have played enough to form an opinion on, though, is the final fan game I want to talk about. Answered Prayers. I'm not too sure how popular this game is compared to Flow and Tuki, but I'm assuming not very. It's a lot smaller than those games too. I'd go so far to say it's smaller than the original. It does not disappoint, however. It's short, but it's amazingly sweet, and again, holds the same sort of feeling that Yume Nikki and .Flow gave me playing through them. I already know what happens in .Flow due to years of watching playthroughs and beating the game myself once, and at the point of trying this game out, I knew Yume Nikki like the back of my damn hand, so it was really refreshing to play a Yume Nikki fan game that was entirely new to me. And it felt just like the original game too, of course with its own nice differences. Again, this game is small, but the variety of worlds hiding within really helps to amplify that atmosphere. There's all kinds of weird stuff in this game, even with how small it is, with events varying from, oh, missing no, I understood the reference. Something like, what the fuck, what is that, get away from me, I'm sorry. Oh, shit, oh, where am I? Honestly, it's a fun play. I beat it in like a few hours, which again shows the size of it, but the worlds are varied and mysterious enough that it holds up with how small it is. The creator Clofier stopped working on it for a while, but began updating it again in June of 2022, so hopefully it'll grow over time. I hope so at least. I like this game. This is also another game I don't really know many theories about, much like Tuki. I have my own little theory in my head, but that's probably for another time. Maybe I'll make a video on my theories for each game. I don't know, just spitballing. Overall, I think what really makes a fan game for me is the way it mimics the original game's emotions. You can stray a bit away from it like .flow does to an extent, but seeing so many different ways a game can make you feel isolated and abandoned is incredible to me. I like seeing people take a different spin on, in my opinion, what it means to be alone. Or, in Tuki's case, what it means to really perfect those visuals, even if you don't feel that lonesome overall. Each game has their own twists and turns, their own story or lack thereof, their own depictions of the horror you feel playing Yume Nikki. And I like that. There are countless other fan games out there, most of which I've never even touched the surface of, so maybe I'll go through those and add to this little conversation. Until then, though, that wraps up my train of thought. I hope you enjoyed hearing me ramble for a little bit. I've been wanting to get my opinion on these games for a while. I also hope this inspired you to check out some of the games mentioned, at least a little bit. It's entertaining just viewing all the events on YouTube or something if you can't be bothered to go play them and download them yourself. Either way, that's all I wanted to say. Thanks for listening.